Hello, welcome everybody. I am so sorry I'm just a moment late for our live, but Facebook, it does what it wants to do. So welcome everyone. I'm so glad that you are here for one of my weekly live videos. If you are joining me live on Facebook at 11 a.m. Pacific time, January 7th, please just chat and say hi. Let me know that you're here, and I would just love to say hello. So yeah, hey, Tammy, Faith, Linda, Lisa, Sally. Hello, everyone. I am just so sorry that I'm a moment late, but I just kept trying, and Facebook was not cooperating. Deep breath. So I just would love, I'm so excited to show you these fun Tulip Fields cards. Today we are going to be using this stamp set. And if you looked at this and you thought, what in the world? Why is there a Christmas tree with tulips? And what does that do? And why would I want this? I think it's really important to see this set used in a video, because this is what you can do with it. Of course, you can do more, but this is what we're going to do today with it. And it really is important to just have a quick lesson to see how to use it before you take it out and think, I have no clue. So I just want to give you just a moment of background here about this. In September of this year, we're in 2022. Last year, September 2021, I was able to visit the Stampin' Up! Home office for my belated $2 million achievement trip. And one of the things I requested to do during my visit there was to visit the new product department, because I love seeing new things. And so this was one of the suites that they showed me when I was there. And I, just like you probably did when you first looked at this set, you went, okay. That's what I did when they showed it to me. I was like, all right. And they showed me the cover, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is going to be so cool. I should have had the page number ready. Hang on, I will find it super quick for you. So page 14 and 15 is where you find this Flowering Fields suite. There are actually two separate bundles. We're going to concentrate on this one so that I can show you how to make the card similar to this, where you have these rows of flowers going back to a vanishing point. So when I was visiting this department, the artist who had created this paper and the concept behind this suite, she was showing me all her original painted artwork for this, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And she showed me how they get it to be into the designer series paper and how it evolved and the thought process. And so I sort of feel like this really neat connection to this particular suite. And I love it. I love it. I think it's just amazing, and it's so beautiful. If you're looking for the details on these cards, my blog is pattystamps.com, and tomorrow, January 8th, these cards and all of the supplies will be there, all the details for you. So I guess I should have introduced myself. Did I do that? Hi, this is Patti Bennett. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for, almost 27 years. Coming up in a few months, it'll be 27 years. And every year when we get new catalogs, I love the new things, and I'm so excited to show you. And I get so impatient because I want to show you all the new stuff. So today we're diving in. We're going to do the Tulip Fields stamp set, and I'll show you how to make cards like this. So let me just take a quick second here. I just want to see if there were any questions. Yeah, Penny says she got this in her pre-order and she hasn't tried it. I hope this will help you, Penny. I think that you'll enjoy seeing how the tips that I share. Oh, good. And Linda says it's on the way in her order. Hey, from Michigan and Wyoming and Wisconsin. Hey, everybody. All right. So let's get going on this. This is just really cool. I think you will find that using the Stamparatus, at least for this first step, is going to be super helpful. You don't absolutely have to have it, but I'm going to recommend it. And I think once this video goes live on Facebook, which will be later today, up here in the corner, I'm going to be able to link to my series of video tutorials featuring the Stamparatus. I'm pretty sure I can do that. So if you're watching this on a replay on YouTube or my blog, up here I am going to try to link to all of my Stamparatus tutorials. So basically the Stamparatus is the Stampin' Up stamp positioning tool. You can see that I've used it for these cards, so that's what we're going to do. It has a plate over here and you can add a plate up here. I just don't have that one on here because we only need one plate today. But basically you put your stamp here and we're going to ink it and then we're going to close it up and we're going to use it to stamp. So that's what we're going to do. You can see that I have done both the horizontal and vertical versions here. Really doesn't matter what you want to start with, but I have my basic white cardstock trimmed down to 4 by 5 1/4. And what I like to do, I like the grid sheets. I don't know if you use these, but this little tablet is such a fun little product. It's meant for the Stamparatus because this size, you can see, fits right there in the Stamparatus. But I use this all the time. I'll grab it and just use it on top of my bigger grid sheet and use it to stamp on. I take it when I travel. I love this thing. Let's see. Oh, the item code is not on it. I was going to give you the item code real quickly, but it's in the annual catalog or in the online store. If you search the word grid, this will come up. So I have a piece of it here protecting my work surface because this stamp that we're starting with is going to be wider, see, wider than my paper. So I am protecting my surface with it. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm putting this paper, kind of tucking it up into this corner so that it's nice and square. And I'm using it to line up my cardstock. Do you see how I have it lined up on these grids? And that way I can put a magnet here and oh my gosh, look at that. My magnet just broke in half. These are the original magnets. It doesn't surprise me that over time it has become brittle, but my goodness, that was kind of crazy. I'm just going to set that aside and use this piece. But anyway, back to my thought. I'm using a magnet up here and a magnet down here to hold my cardstock in place. And then I'm going to take this longer piece in the set and I need to stand up and I'm going to kind of look over my camera here. So what I'm doing is I am lining, easier said than done, I am lining up this stamp with that dark grid mark. And I'm trying to get the middle, this vanishing point, right in that center grid. That's where I want it placed, and that is going to give me this. So what you do then is you just close the lid and you press, and that picks up. Yeah, it's sticky. So now I'm just that's why I have this grid paper, is so that I can reposition this paper right back on those grids. So it picked up the stamp, and we're going to ink it, and then we're going to close it up, and it's going to stamp our first image. Yeah, Susan, the tape on here, it's just basically so I can pick that up. Yeah, she's asking if it helps to pick it up. No, they will still stick to each other. You do have to be careful about not letting them get too close because they will all of a sudden just clap together. Thank you. Tammy has the number for the grid paper, 149621, page 144 of the annual catalog. Thank you, Tammy. Hi, Sheila. Welcome. First time. Welcome. So we have the long stamp stuck on our Stamparatus. The reason I'm using the Stamparatus is so that I can get everything perfectly lined up and I know I'm stamping straight. But also, this is really long. And I don't, do we even have a clear block that is this long? Where's my really long one? Hang on. Don't want to knock the camera over. Okay, so here's my long one. Oh, it does. Let's see. Let me just move this over so I can get it back into the frame. So it does fit the big block. This is block I. So it does fit. But if I were to mount it on there, I wouldn't necessarily get this stamped perfectly straight. So that's kind of the method to my madness there. So then we can ink this, and I am choosing Calypso Coral, one of my favorite colors. And I am just going to close this up and press. And if we don't get a perfect image, the beauty of the Stamparatus is that you can re-ink it and it will stamp in exactly the right place. But I think that looks really good. So I'm going to leave that. And just so I don't put my hand or anything in this, I'm going to take my chamois and I'm just going to blot over here and get that ink off. And what I also keep at my space is just an old washcloth, and I'm just going to dry that off a little, just in case. I don't want to put my hand in it and get all messy. So that's our first point of reference, and that gives us that vanishing point. So then our next piece is going to be this one that looks like a Christmas tree. Doesn't it look like a Christmas tree with flowers on it? And that one is going to go right here in the middle. You're trying to match up that vanishing point, and you are trying to get it as straight as possible. So you can either use the plate to do that, or what I prefer is to go ahead and use my block, because after we stamp this one, we're going to stamp it here and here. So it needs to be on a, well, I prefer it to be on a block to do that. You could keep repositioning it here, but to me that's a little bit, I don't know, time consuming and a little bit putsy to keep repositioning it for every single one. So for this center one, let's see, you know what, I'm going to copy my sample, and I can just set it right there so you can see. I'm going to copy the sample just so you can see how it turns out to be the same. So the middle is Mango Melody. And again, I just need to stand up and look straight down. And this is hand stamped, so, you know, if it doesn't come out 1,000,000% perfect, don't sweat it, right? Okay, so there's our center. And then we're going to use a different color to go here and here and here and here. And I think this is just really fascinating. I am sure that somebody in the artistic department went and looked at a flower field and sort of had this mental image of how do all of these rows of flowers go back to a vanishing point. I think it's really fascinating. So I did kind of a combo of colors to kind of like a rainbow-ish this color together. So what I did was I inked it in the Mango Melody that we just used, but then I grabbed one of my blending brushes and my Flirty Flamingo, got some ink on it, and I just kind of dabbed. And I'm just trying to get sort of a random mix of colors on there. And then I am able to do one here. Okay, so we got kind of an in-between color. It's not quite mango and it's not quite flirty flamingo. And you could use any colors, absolutely any colors you want. But this is just what I was playing with for this one. That was probably wiggling the camera. So now I need to move this magnet because I want to come over here. And I just noticed that I didn't get that second, or this one over here. I didn't get that very perfect. It's really hard when you're trying to stand up and look through the camera. I don't know how many of you do live videos, but stamping is a little bit of a struggle when you're trying to do it looking through a camera. It's not quite like normal stamping. So now this one is just Flirty Flamingo. And then we're going to fill this in. And then I'm just going to scoot this one over here. Oh, and then I think for this one, you have to actually, I took it off because, or you can just scoot it all the way over because you have to have room for this block over here. So you can see what I mean about if you were trying to do all of this, all of these steps on the Stamparatus, it's a little bit tricky. So it's, to me, it's easier to go ahead and put this stamp on the block. All right, so that is how you get the vanishing point and the rows of flowers to come back to that middle point. You can do any colors. These are just Patti colors. I love the Patti colors. I think it's just really pretty to have sort of this mix of nice spring colors on there. And oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this, Patricia. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, good. Tammy says not intimidating anymore. Yes, Sally, exactly. Great point. So if you wanted to make multiples of this, you could have the center one and this one that we did first set up on your two plates, and you could stamp multiples very, very quickly and at least get that done real fast. And then you could set up the other ones if you wanted to and keep going. No, that wouldn't be a problem. But just for making one or two, I think doing it that way is just probably the easiest. So now let me show you a couple of ideas for the sky. This one, all I did was I took a Post-it note and I masked off my tulips, or my flower field, let's say that, right? I don't think it has to be tulips, does it? And I took a blending brush and I took my blue ink pad. Pretty sure I did Balmy Blue. So, or no, that looks like Pool Party, but we'll try Balmy Blue. And I just got ink on it and I start up here and just come down like this. And I didn't want like a super solid, like really dark blue sky. I just wanted it to be a little bit randomish, like as if there were some clouds and some, some light and dark. Just a very light hand on there. And then that gives you a blue sky. So that's one idea. And then the other idea is to use designer paper. So here I did designer paper from it's the same, let's see, it's called Flowering Fields. So here is all the paper in this beautiful set. And I chose this piece, which is a little hard to know what the whole thing looks like just in a sample, but here's what the piece looks like. And I just took a, like, I don't know, what is that? 1.5, about 2 inches, about a 2-inch piece, and cut it. Oh, it's on this one. And that's what's back here, is just a slice of this paper. So it gives you those puffy clouds. It gives you the blue. It gives you the lights and darks. So that's what that piece was. And then I had another idea. I wanted to show you this idea. I was looking at this celebration paper. This is the Marbleless paper, because one side looks marbled and then one side looks sort of like alcohol ink. And I was thinking about using that blue piece because I thought, oh, well, that will surely look like amazing clouds, right? So let's look at that. I'm going to show you how that looks. So if we were to cut a piece of this and put it on there, so if you can kind of envision that that would be the sky. I liked it, but I thought, oh, it's like awfully dramatic. I mean, it'd be fine for a dramatic sky, but that's maybe move it over to here, but it's still kind of dramatic, right? So then I'll just show you this fun idea. I took the piece that is gray. So I grabbed that piece because it's not quite so dark. And I used the blending brush just to put some blue on there. And I thought, well, if I used that in the sky, that's not quite as dramatic, but you still kind of get that puffiness look. So that's a possibility as well. I guess, you know what? Let's just cut it and see. What I was going to say was I'm not 100% convinced. But you don't even know till you try, right? So I've got a piece here that has a little bit less blue ink on it. Let me see how big this needs to be. So I'm going to do 2 inches. I'm going to leave a little bit of the white here. And let's just look at that and see, because you don't know till you try, right? So if we had... It's still pretty dramatic. I'm not 100% convinced, but I just like to give you options and help you kind of go through the thinking process when I'm designing. I know that you like that. So I always try to do that with you and explain my thoughts and my process. Let's see. Oh, Anne says, I make it look much easier than she thought it would be. But you know what? Did that help? Because really, it's not that hard. The biggest challenge, and you can see right here, is that I really missed getting that one to point right to the vanishing point. But you know what? It's okay. When the card is done, nobody is going to be like, whoa, that looks really bad right there. Right? They're going to look at the card and say, that's amazing. Well, at least I hope. So if any of you get this, I'm counting on you to say that it's amazing. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like a tornado, Leticia says. A rainstorm. Yep, Pat. Okay, Janny says, Dutch skies are often very dramatic. Okay. All right. Yeah, and Sally, I agree. I was thinking the same thing, that if I get this on there and I add the windmill and I add the fence and maybe a tree, it probably would look a lot better than just looking at it like that. So we could definitely try that. Definitely. Want to just tell you about this so that you know how I finished it off. And then I have a sneak peek of new product to show you with this. All right. So I'm excited. Oh, the bicycle. Okay, I should have shown that. And I didn't. So the dies that go with this are called Windmill Fields. So this is the bundle together. And it has the bicycle in it. And what I did was I die cut several of them just out of gray. I put adhesive sheet on the back first, and die cut them, and then it is so easy to stick on when you do that. I did the same thing with the fence pieces that are in the dies. Here are all the little fence pieces. So I put some adhesive sheet on the back of soft suede cardstock, die cut a whole bunch of them, and then they're just super easy to stick on. And it also has the die for this windmill that I want to show you something really cool in just a minute. A new product. Thank you for reminding me to show that. Oh, good. Nell says I've convinced her and she's ordering it today. You're welcome, Carolyn. I'm glad you like it. I'm so glad. So let me tell you about this. Oh, I have something so funny to show you. So I ordered more catalogs and they came yesterday. Look at this one. Look at this. This is how it came. My husband opened the boxes for me and he says, I think you have a collector's edition. And I'm like, what? And I thought he meant that, like, they sent me one of the brand new catalogs or something. And I was all excited. And he brings it up here and he goes, this could be worth a lot of money. What do you think? I'm like, probably not. But isn't that funny? Oh my gosh. Right out of the box, just like that. Yeah, anyway, I just thought that was hysterical. So back to our regularly scheduled program here. I wanted to show you those. I don't know, things just crack me up sometimes. This is the paper that I used, and I just took my paper snips and I cut out 3 of these tulips. And right back here, these leaves are actually stamped and die cut from the tulip set. So remember I told you at the beginning there are 2 bundles in this mega suite. This is the other one, and so I stamped and die cut the petals to tuck behind there. All right, so that's that, and I thought that was really, really a sweet little touch. Really kind of brought out the whole tulip theme. And the windmill, I stamped that, and it is in the Tulip Fields set that we've been using. This one is a nice small windmill that you can see it goes with the proportion of these rows of tulips. And what I wanted to show you, here's a sneak peek. I'm pretty sure it's okay to show you this. If not, no, I'm sure it is. Demonstrators had a pre-order opportunity. And I just opened these like half an hour ago. Look at the new markers that we have. So they are called the Natural Tones Collection. Demonstrators are able to pre-order this month, and it will be available to customers in February. Look at these gorgeous shades. It's kind of meant for skin tones, diversity in skin tones. So here's how they look. They're numbered 100 to 1000. But I got to thinking, you can use these for bears and hedgehogs and tree trunks and baskets and wood and all these other things. And I thought, well, this would be great to add a little bit of color to the windmill. We could pick a color to use. And I'm kind of leaning towards 500 or 600. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Here's 600. I think I like 500 better. That's here. Well, that's 800. I got those out of order. That was pretty funny. Oh, that's hysterical. I thought these were in order. 800. 700. Yeah. 405. What am I looking for? 500. Oh, it's right here. I think I picked it up and put it down. 500. I'm going to try that. So let's see how that looks. And I'm just going to shade kind of on the edge where the shadows would be. And the artist already has that shading there. And then, so this was 500. So 1, let's see, maybe 2 steps lighter, 800. We're going to use that and just sort of blend out. Like that. And I think this part is, it's probably either wood or metal. I really don't know. But we'll just color it with that. And this gives us so many opportunities for different colors that we don't have in our regular colors. Let's just give that a little bit of extra shadow. If you've watched I have 22 Stampin' Blends tutorial videos. If you've watched them, you know that I love to blend tons of colors together. I don't just stick with 1 or 2 colors. I blend a lot together. So that would be my windmill, and I can cut that out. You know what? I'm going to die cut it really quick because I want to try this in the background and see what it looks like after we get the windmill on there. I'm just curious if I'm going to like that or not. And a tip for you before you die cut, if you use a little post-it note or a post-it flag, these are post-it flags, to hold your die down. It's really helpful when you're die cutting so that it doesn't slip around. So hang on real quick, let me die cut this. And let's just see how this would look. So I think I'm leaning towards like this lighter section over here. And then if we had that, I don't know, I kind of like it. I think whoever said that, yes, washi tape too is great for that. So Jennifer, I went over that. You might want to watch the replay. This is from the Tulip. This is from the Celebration paper. And I just used the gray one and I added the blue ink to it with a blending brush. But we were kind of seeing if we liked this or if it was too dramatic. So I don't know. I kind of like it. What do you think? Oh, okay. You like it. Good, good. So you know what? I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go ahead and glue it on there, and then it will be almost done. I like this side over here that has just this lighter part. And I'm just going to trim off the excess. And then if we add that, yeah, I do like that a lot. I think that's coloring the windmill darker and then having the darker dramatic sky. I think it's really interesting. And then I don't know, I cut several different possibilities for our base card. Oh, and I want to tell you something about this card too. So make sure I remember to do that. No, it's not going to be that. So it could be, look how much pink brightens it, or pink. It's Flirty Flamingo. That really brightens it. Let's see, Mango. I don't like that as well. And then, let's see. Oh, I do like the Balmy Blue. I do like that. It's a tie for me. I love the brightness of the flamingo, similar to this. So, we'll see. I don't know. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you. It was an experiment. We'll see. So maybe. That's a maybe, right? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So then, I was going to show you something about this. this background is also the Celebration paper, and it's this piece. Let me hold this up and show you. Can you see that in the background? I've cut it the full size of my card front and used it for the background. So it's not a solid color. It's sort of, a marbling of colors, but it really brought out the softness of all the pretty flowers. I love the way this turned out. So what do you think? Do you like that? I think that was really pretty. I'm just trying to use up because, we get all this wonderful free paper and then we hoard it, and then Celebration ends and we're like, oh my gosh, I have extra packs. What am I going to do? Right? So then you want to use it up. Oh, and this greeting is from Dahlia Days. Thank you for your kindness. I stamped it onto a die-cut tailor-made tag, and I used Poppy Parade because I really wanted to make that colorful. So I think we covered that. I wanted to know, stamped the flowers. I didn't, Leticia. I cut them out. I just cut them. I cut them right out of the DSP. I didn't stamp them. Let's see. Oh, okay. Glenna says, if she remembers right, when she was in Holland, windmills were usually gray and darker colors. Okay, I've seen them like very colorful, actually. I've seen them in red and white and all different colors. So I suppose it's up to the artist's interpretation of whatever we would want it to be, right? But yes, thank you for that. And I also remember when I was in Central California. So I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. And if you drive about 4 hours south or about 5 hours, you're in the Santa Barbara, Central California area. And there is a town called Lompoc, and my in-laws lived there for many years. And there are flower fields that look just like this. And it is just truly amazing to see them and just see them just vanishing off into the background. So I totally get this. It's really amazing to see. Yes, near Solvang, but it's in Lompoc is where all the flower fields are. Yeah. Yeah. So, the fence gay, I went over that in the beginning, or not the beginning, but in the middle. The fence pieces are in the Windmill Fields dies, and I die cut them out of soft suede cardstock. Let's see, any other questions? Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad that you like it, Joanne. That is awesome. So I will have, like I said, these will be on my blog tomorrow, January 8th at pattystamps.com. And then in, I don't know, a week or so, I also am going to be posting this card. You may have already seen it on Instagram. I did a reel, which is a short video with this. But what I wanted to show you is if the stamping of this set and the vanishing point, like that whole idea, if that's intimidating, or you're thinking, oh, I don't know about this. I don't want to, I don't want to stamp it. There is this piece in the Flowering Fields designer paper, and it has all of these pieces going to a vanishing point. And that's what I used on this card. So you can kind of create this look by using the designer paper. The drawback is you can only get one out of that piece, because the vanishing point being in the upper left corner, you can only cut one. So I've got one here to make a vertical card, and you can see this one, I cut it to make a horizontal card. So that's the only drawback, but it is beautiful, and it is an alternate to doing the stamping. So I just wanted to mention that as something else that you might want to try. Oh, thank you, Gay. Thanks, Nita. Yes, with adhesive sheets, Gay. Exactly. Can I show my magnet sheet of dies? Yes, let me show that again. So this is the Windmill Fields. It is part of the bundle that goes with the Tulip Field set. And if you missed my video last week, which was actually New Year's Eve, I went over all the information about how I put them on the magnet sheets and how I like to store them in the pockets. I always want to call them like an envelope, but it's a pocket, a storage pocket from Stampin' Storage, and I had all the links there. And so that's how I store them. The magnet sheets are also from Stampin' Storage. And you can also find the entire suite. It's kind of a mega suite, page 14 and 15 in the mini catalog. So we basically talked about this bundle today, but there is also a second bundle. We will make tulips another time. I thought that was too much for this video, but here's the paper, and you have these cute little brass butterflies that you can get in this suite, and the ribbon as well. Oh, Christine, yes, I'm glad you're rethinking about it. You're rethinking this. Yes. Let's see. The cruise. Okay, yes, Terry, I can talk about the cruise. Let me just check if there are any other questions. Yes, Pamela, this is going to be on replay, available here forever. Tomorrow, the replay will be on my blog, pattystamps.com, on January 8th. And later today, it will also be on YouTube, on my Patti Stamps YouTube channel. Thank you for asking. Oh, good. Okay, Shan said she did the windmill in gray, and it looks great with the flowers. Okay, awesome. I'm going to try it. Awesome. Thank you, Missy. Thanks, Patricia. Thank you, Nell. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, yes, and Brad's for the windmill in the other die set. Yes, or no, for this one, yeah, as well. You can make a big windmill and put. Who said that? Hang on. Pat, thank you. You can put a brad through the center, and then the windmill can spin. Thank you for that reminder. That's a great reminder. All right, so who asked? Somebody asked about the cruise. Oh gosh, I lost. Here it is. Terry. Terry asked if I could talk about the cruise real quick. So in August of this year, 2022, I am co-hosting a cruise, a real cruise to Alaska. And we are fingers crossed that it will actually still go through and not be canceled. But it goes out of Seattle. It's a week-long cruise, and it is a stamping cruise. So we are going to be, Kirsten and I, designing projects for you for a whole week's worth of stamping, and we stop in awesome ports, and I will link that again. I linked it last week in my video, but I will link it again, or you can go on my blog and search the word Alaska in the search bar, and you will also find it. But yes, we are doing it, and we are still taking some registrations. We are more than half full, so I can't guarantee how long it will be open, but yes, we are taking registrations still for that. So, any other questions? Yes, Lindsay, we do have brads. They are in the annual catalog. I can find those pretty quickly for you, I think. So, they are right up here. Round and square brads. They come in the same package, and it's called round and square brads, and they are black and white. So you can use those for the windmill. It's number 155570. And if you don't have a demonstrator, please let me know how I can help you. Jump over to my blog, pattystamps.com. You can use the request a catalog button there. You can use the contact me button, and I'd be happy to help you if you don't have a demonstrator. Let's see, any other... So Kelly, to register for the cruise, I'll I'll put it in the description of this video as soon as we're done here, but there is a link on my blog. So you can go to pattystamps.com, search the word Alaska in the search bar, and it'll come up, but I'll also give you the link, and you can use the registration form for that. The new blends are the same price. They come in packs of 2, same thing, $9, same price. And let's see, any other questions? Oh, good, Terry. I'm glad that you are interested in our cruise. We are going to have so much fun. It's going to be amazing. So any other questions about the tulip bundle, the suite, how to stamp it, the Stamparatus, any of the supplies that I used? I'd be happy to answer questions. And if not, I will see you next week. Thanks, Stacy. You're welcome. So glad you enjoyed it. I'm going to hang out just a minute and monitor the questions just in case. If I missed your question, please retype it. Sometimes they go by really quickly and I don't see them all. You're welcome, Myrtle. Thank you for joining me. Any other questions? You're welcome, Melissa. Thanks, Janny. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, I don't see questions. You're welcome, Kelly. I'm so glad you all enjoyed it today. Oh, thank you, Patricia. You're so sweet. Hi, Judy. Good to see you on here. I really love this suite. Like I explained in the beginning, it has sort of a special spot in my heart because of my visit to Stampin' Up, and I'm glad you liked it as well. I will see you all next week. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.